Today's guest in conversation is a proud sponsor of From a Woman's Perspective with Marilyn Wetston. To reach Marilyn or her guests, visit the program's website, marilyns.ca, or call 416-504-6777.
And every guest of mine is a team member, somebody who wants to educate us on their specialty. And, I find that I can't be an expert on everything, but I love to pick the brains of the people I meet and who I've invited to be on this show, because they always educate me of things that would take me years to study. And that's the case with Darren Farwell. He just came back from traveling. He always is going to improve and educate himself on what he does. He's been doing money matters, I'll call them, since 1986, which basically comes down to helping people achieve their dreams by letting their money work for them tax efficiently. So welcome back, Darren.
Thank you, Marilyn. Nice to be here.
And I don't know if you'll have a happy story for us besides the fact that you've been traveling and seeing the world as well as doing business.
Well, traveling certainly is a happy experience. I enjoyed my travel. It was nice to be somewhere with sunshine and warm weather. Not so happy, unfortunately, that the Ottawa Senators aren't going to be in the Stanley Cup. I was hoping that Canada was going to win the Stanley Cup as part of the celebrations of our 150th anniversary, but not to be. The last couple of weeks before I'd gone away, I'd been talking about life insurance and why it can be an important part of your retirement. People think of it as generally something for earlier in life. And the 5 reasons that I went over that you might consider life insurance even later in life are, number 1, to provide quick, easy funds and when someone dies, so it's easier for the people who are left to look after the estate to manage your money matters and pay those bills that come up. Number 2, as an income replacement if something were to happen to a significant breadwinner. Number 3, people like the idea of just leaving a specific legacy. So if you want to leave something like $500,000 per child, you know that life insurance will provide that, and you can spend all the money you have while you're alive and not worry about interfering with that legacy. Number 4, life insurance by itself is a very good tax-effective investment compared to GICs and bonds. And number 5, life insurance is a highly tax-effective and flexible way to give to a charity. But today I'm going to get back to the investing world. So we've been talking about life insurance and how it can be used for estate planning and even as an investment. But today I want to talk about insurance in a different way. I want to talk about buying insurance for the value of your portfolio. What a surprising number of investors in Canada don't know is that you can actually buy insurance for your portfolio. Remember, Marilyn, we're always talking about you don't know what you don't know.
And I don't know anything about this, and you made my jaw drop again. Every single time. I'm so amazed at how little I know compared to what you know about investing money.
Well, of course, it's a complex world out there, and that's why we need specialists. Now, today I'm going to discuss a little discussed strategy, and I'll talk a little bit about why I'm talking about it today. So settle in and let me share a happy story. A woman came to me about a month ago. Let's call her Jackie. Jackie had recently received a big check from the sale of her business. Jackie wanted this money to fund her lifestyle, which, going forward, no longer included paid work. Jackie wants to take courses. She's going to do some university courses. She wants to travel. She'd like to make sure she stays in shape and visits her children. And just, as she called it, chill. Well, her friend referred Jackie to me and my team because that's exactly what we do. We manage to make your money work for you to support you being able to do the things that are most important to you. And we have some unique abilities to do that. This was Jackie's dilemma and why she sought out professional help. She already has a lot of investments in her RSPs, tax-free savings accounts, and even non-registered investments. To produce the income she wants from her funds, from the sale of her company, we're going to buy a high-quality, blue-chip, dividend-paying portfolio. This means that Jackie will have even more of her money invested in stocks. And while we are in one of the most profitable periods of the investment cycle for investments, particularly for equities. She does want to be invested, and I agree that she should, because really, cash and bonds, if you own cash and bonds, over time, you are losing purchasing power, because cash and bonds, the guaranteed rates you earn from cash and bonds are simply not paying enough to keep you ahead of inflation. So all that, in knowing all of that, she's still worried. She's worried that she's got a lot of money in investments, and there's a lot of talk these days about the market's too high. Well, not only is there talk about the market's too high, there are some significant risks out there. There's risk that interest rates might go too high in the United States. Well, so far the sky hasn't fallen with President Trump, but there's an awful lot of people who feel that it still might. The Eurozone is still going through some turmoil. We've got elections in Germany, we have elections in Italy, and there's Brexit. Things could go wrong there. And I think the most important news story right now in terms of risk is China. We've been talking about the last year and a half things slowing down in China this year. And if things were to slow down more than we expect, that could be real problems for global markets. And that's a headline to watch. Right now it's still in the back pages, but watch for what's going on in China. JP Morgan just this week reduced their growth estimates for China. And if China sneezes, the whole world catches a cold in today's environment.
So now I'm shaking in my boots. And I guess that's what's happening to your client, Jackie, right?
Yes, and for me, it's very interesting. You said I've been at this since 1986, and this is an unusual time because I've seen very few times through my career where the environment for investing is so clearly positive, yet so many people are very worried.
And
Interesting.
And you're worried too? It sounds like you're watching, you're aware.
I'm not. I think it's a great time to be invested, so I'm not worried from that perspective, but there are always risks that we need to watch for, and I'd say the biggest one right now is China.
Okay.
So the dilemma that Jackie and many others are left with is how do they stay invested in good quality stocks at a great time to be invested in good quality stocks, yet protect themselves for this possibility that something could go wrong, protect themselves from a serious drop in the market. And the way you do that is to buy portfolio insurance. So I showed Jackie a strategy that significantly minimizes the losses of the market if there's a big drop. And what's so compelling about this strategy and why I like it right now is because the markets have been so good for so long, particularly in the United States, the cost of buying this insurance now is at decades low. So you have the opportunity to have your money remain invested, to take advantage of what potentially over the next couple of years could be very high rates of return. Because traditionally what people do if they're worried about risk is they sell good quality investments and go to cash. Well, cash is very tax ineffective and provides very low returns, and you could miss out on some quite attractive returns at this part of the investment cycle. So instead of selling and going to cash, my recommendation is to buy this portfolio insurance, particularly since this portfolio insurance is very inexpensive. Currently, we're buying portfolio insurance for clients' portfolios that cost 0.5% of the value of their portfolio or less.
You know what? I've never heard of it. Portfolio insurance. And my father, may he rest in peace, did invest in stocks. I'm sure it would have been a wonderful thing to sleep at night knowing he was covered. And you're basically saying that's what this insurance does?
Yes, that is it. What it does is if your portfolio is going down, the portfolio insurance goes up in value. So it's offsetting the decline in the value of your portfolio. So it reduces the amount of risk and reduces, of course, the anxiety that comes with seeing your portfolio decline.
So I shouldn't be surprised that you know about this because that's your life, numbers and information and what's happening in the world. And since 1986, and I think it's your life, it's been your passion since you were a child. I remember you saying that. So did your friend buy this? Has she made the decision yet, Jackie?
Well, interesting that you say so. That you've asked that because, in fact, she moved on it very quickly. And I've been talking to this about a number of clients who, again, have a lot of money in the market, but we don't want to go to cash. And interestingly, they're all very excited about the idea. And I think part of the excitement comes from the fact that at this point in time, we can do that very inexpensively. Because remember, if the market doesn't go down, the amount that you spend on insurance, just like if you have a car and you don't get in an accident, the money actually is lost. So it's important that you do this at a time when it's very inexpensive. And as I said, today the cost is at decades low.
Well, the fact is, if the market is up, it has a chance to really fall, then this is really a safety net. It's better than Gravol when you're going on a roller coaster. A very worthwhile investment from my point of view. Anyway, thanks for sharing that, Darren. Now, if someone's sitting there wanting to know more about that, are you going to work today?
I am going to work this morning, Marilyn.
And still willing to give a conversation to anyone who wants to talk about what you're good at, this investing tax efficiently?
Always happy to take calls, or if people want to come and visit me, of course, the parking and coffee is free.
That's so nice of you. I've taken you up on that offer, and I find it very worthwhile. So if you wish to have a good conversation about money and investing, maybe save yourself a gray hair or two. It sounds like every single week there's things that Darren does for his clients that make life more palatable. The phone number to reach Darren, 416-863-7501. That's 416-863-7501. You can be proactive. You don't know what you don't know. Who knew that there was such a thing as portfolio insurance? If you're one of those individuals and you want to learn more, today's your day, 416-863-7501. Just ask for Darren Farwell. And the website is farwellwealthmanagement.com.
That's correct.
So there's a link from my website, marilyns.ca, if you wish to sort of find out more before you call Darren. It's all there for you. Thank you, Darren. Once again, you made my jaw drop, and I feel better having listened to you and learned from you.
Thank you.